Okay, let me start by introducing Renee first then. Renee
Okay.
Liao graduated from the University of Toronto in software engineering and worked for IBM and TELUS. He was earning an $80,000 a year salary, and he was introduced by his sister. He is now the company's youngest millionaire, a lifestyle director who qualified for a luxury car program and drives a prepaid luxury car from the company, a $200,000 Tesla P90D. He has reached $100,000 a month in earnings, and more shockingly, with only 7,000 people in his team. Right now, his team has over 24,000 people in over 110 countries around the world. He's happily married after proposing with to his wife, Heidi, with a $47,000 Fairy Mosh 21-karat gold ring. Now is worth $80,000. With two young boys, Rex and Leon, and is able to travel around the world with his family. He just made a recent purchase building his custom $5 million home, and he's now founding member and a shareholder and sits on the company's CEO's advisory board. He has also received the highest award in the company President's Cup Award twice. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome today's trainer, Renee Liao.
Excellent. So let me introduce you in the next trainer, our sales development manager at Opulence Global, our corporate. Daniela, and we call her Danny, and she has the mandate to further the ability of all entrepreneurs associated with the company to reach their potential in growth, in growing their businesses. She has over 17 years of experience in direct sales. This background laid the groundwork for her current position, which is developing the company's sales force, creating strategies, and give partners real work ground for selling the products as well as growing their organizations. Daniela donates her time, skills, and resources to different nonprofit organizations. She is also a member of the entrepreneur group, BEST and BEST, and a lead member of Hispanic Women Network in Canada, HWN. Opulence Global family, please have your pens and notebooks ready and help me welcome today's trainers, our sales development manager at Opulence Global, Ms. Daniela Flora, and the youngest millionaire, LD4 Renee Liao. And the floor is yours. Please take it away. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my dear. I'm going to start sharing my screen, if that's okay with you.
Yes, please.
Awesome. So we've put together this slide deck. It's also going to be available in your back office. One of the things that today we are going to talk about is a lot about how we work as a team in our organization to build our business. And that's why Marketing Allowance was created in the beginning, or when Opulence was launched about 5-6 years ago. It was actually divided between convention pool and marketing pool. We just actually recently, at the beginning of July, we changed it all into Marketing Allowance. So the name just changed a little bit, but in reality, it is the same concept because we realized how going back into, the markets opening up, people started it to utilize or asking for the utilization of this. So we thought, okay, let's give some training to the field about what Marketing Allowance is and how can you utilize it? How can you use it for the benefit of your business? And of course, helping your business grow, which is the most important aspect. So let's number one say, what is MA for? Okay, we call it MA or Marketing Allowance. So it is to develop and support your Opulence Global business organizational growth, okay? So the organizational growth of your business, like, when Tammy was introducing Renee and knowing that he has people in over 100 countries and territories in his business, does not necessarily mean that he knows every single one of those people. or that he has been to every single one of those markets, right? So the marketing allowance is designed for you as a partner, as an entrepreneur, to say, okay, this is my business, this is where my organization is growing, this is where I am going to be investing so that my business in that specific country or region can continue to grow. Now, how do you accumulate marketing allowance? Okay, this is for the new partner who's been, to this for the first time, and you want to know how. So in our compensation plan, right, number one, when you become a lifestyle advisor and you generate $150 in PV every month, you have one lifestyle advisor on the left, one lifestyle advisor on the right, and they are generating 150 personal volume every month as well. Your binary tree is activated. When your binary tree is activated, means that you are now eligible to earn binary commissions from the sales volume that happens in your entire organization to infinity. So even though today is not a compensation plan training, I wanted it to make sure that people know how they can earn it, because not everyone is actually earning, what we call power cycles, which is what happens every time your team accumulates $5,400 in CV. Okay, when this happens, you actually get paid $400 cash, okay, as a power cycle, $400 commissions in your e-wallet, and then we also deposit $60 in your marketing allowance. So the marketing allowance will stay there, will add up, nothing happens to it. It is your money, you have access to it anytime, but we want you to invest it in the organizational growth of your business. So now, where does it come from, right? It's come from different markets that are growing. All of a sudden, this team decides, we're going to grow, boom, 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 they start to expand. All of a sudden, next month, this team becomes quiet, and now this team, starts getting, maybe you get a leader in a different city or in a different country, all of a sudden, this team starts to work. So the funds of the marketing allowance should be used towards these markets, providing ongoing active support, okay? The goal of utilizing your marketing allowance towards these markets is obviously to generate more CV from that market, okay? To drive momentum into that market or within the organization, and to boost your binary commissions. Because the more binary commissions you earn, eventually more marketing allowance you will have. So it becomes like a win-win situation, right? If you are and this go back to our basics on our offline pledge, right? When we talk about the offline pledge and we say, okay, if you want to build your business and you want to give me 10%, I'll give you 10%. You want me to call you once a week, I'll call you once a week. You want me to check on you once a month and tell you the promotions of the month, I'll check up on you every once a month. But if you're going to give me your 100%, guess what? I'm going to give you 300%. You can count on me. I'm going to be there for you, rain or shine, and no problem. We build an empire together. But what happens is that if you are not willing to work, risk, and sacrifice with all of these teams, obviously the momentum is going to go down. Okay, so this is actually created and designed to help you tap into those markets where you are getting volume from, so that you can actually have like, wow, I'm going to invest into this team. This month, I'm going to give, some energy, some fuel, some promotion, some dedication to the team, because they are giving me volume that is generating money to my business. So if you give me 100%, I'll give you 200%. I love that, Raymond, because now I know this team or this particular organization is going to bring me more volume. Awesome, awesome. So in our kind of like reiterating what I just said, with our infinity compensation plan, all the CV, right, that is generated from those sales of that particular market benefits every single upline that is active in the organization, right? So when the CV comes from a smaller leg, for example, the more CV, the more power cycles, obviously more MA is going to have. So healthy practice of team building activities will promote the growth of your organization. So let's say, I'm going to use as an example, actually, for example, Sherry that lives in California, but Renee is in Toronto and Ronan is in Israel. So because you guys are, we are all part of the same team, but all of you are focusing on different markets. So what you're doing is you're spreading your wings, right? Everybody's like, okay, let's grow, let's build. So it's in everyone's, as leaders, right, everyone's best interest in your team to contribute to the development of those particular markets. So the marketing allowance is designed exactly for that, because a lot of people might be in the team, but if they are not power cycling, they might not have marketing allowance. But if you are, as leaders, contributing everybody together, helping your new leaders to develop, to become LD1s, to become LD2s, to have more volume, and then start to power cycle, more marketing allowance is going to happen for the team. Now, everyone is going to take advantage of this, and everyone is going to have the benefit. Because remember that anything that you do in your team will have some sort of positive impact into your entire organization.
I think, did Danny just cut off for a second there, Sherry? Or is it just me? Okay, maybe it was just me. So I thought you cut out there for a second, Danny. It's all good.
No problem.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, and can I just add really quickly as well, Danny, just to give you a break. I know that maybe you can get some water for yourself too. I know that you're still getting better as well. Is that just to sort of second what Danny was saying, which is that, again, it's so amazing because what I've noticed now over the last 14 years of building amongst so many different people is that when a market starts to grow, the reality is that market needs more and more support, right? You go from having one LA to 10 LAs, 20 LAs. Now you have an LD1 and LD2, and they're constantly growing. And of course, so really, it makes a lot of sense, logically speaking, that as a market starts to grow and grow to a few hundred to a few thousand, right, that becomes a main market, of course, for the company, which definitely entails that it needs a lot more support as well. And so I love the fact that this marketing allowance, it's amazing because as you sort of use your marketing allowance towards these growing markets, which are making you your income, for example, the next trip, someone flies down there, does an amazing presentation. What's going to happen is that you're going to earn way more binary commissions and way more marketing allowance from that market. So the way that I see it is that if it's properly used, your marketing allowance that you put towards your growing markets, it feeds back in to more commissions, more marketing allowance. You put it back into the market, get more binary commissions and more marketing allowance, right? So it's actually designed to help you make a lot more money because, again, that's the market that's booming, right? I think the potential mistake that could be made here is that you take your marketing allowance and you put it towards ideas or areas that are new or that haven't generated you that marketing allowance. So I think the key thing to just keep in mind here is wherever you got your marketing allowance from, well, probably you want to put most of that money back towards that market because it made you that money in the first place. It can make you more in the future. So, trying to put it towards other areas, it's not that it's not allowed. For example, our convention is very important. You want to be there. You can use your marketing allowance for your flights and your hotels to come to our product innovation conference, right? That absolutely. So just keeping that in mind, though, of course. And I think the other really cool thing, though, is with the power cycle, because I feel like as you earn power cycles, it means that market is really growing. And so, one thing that that I think the company didn't want to do is to have some brand new people who just started making their first $900 cycle check or their $1,800 CV check or their 3,600 CV check to have to contribute to markets because they just started making money, right? So you also want to, there's a fine balance. And I love the fact that we have this power cycle because to me, the power cycle where you get that extra $60, right, is a perfect filter for who should be contributing because they're making enough cycles now. They're making the power cycles. They're making money. So they're not someone who's just brand new, getting started, who doesn't have any marketing allowance. That wouldn't kind of make sense. So I love the fact that, again, we have this power cycle because it really does help people know, well, if you earn marketing allowance, it's because you're making money from that market. So let's go and try to contribute some of that back towards that market. So thank you, Danny. Thank you.
Yeah. Actually, Renee, and here we were actually more talking between the leaders or team that the once it starts to grow. When you are new, like you were mentioning, and you start to build your marketing allowance and you start having a little bit money on the side, then when you get into a level in your business when you want to know where to invest, you can also give us a call. You can also say, Danny, this is where I'm standing at, this is the money I have in my marketing pool, can we look at which markets are bringing me the most revenue, see when the next event is happening, is there something we can create there? Or it could be used to use it towards your team, revive your team to continue to build volume. So definitely something that is there. The only reason why we're having this training is because we want to encourage the team to work together, right? Developing markets with potential and invest in those markets to drive further team growth. Because for example, I had this conversation with Amarjit in Singapore, right? I came across people that were on our pioneers group from 4 years ago, and they were coming to our events, and they are still utilizing Fountain of Life, and they are still building their sales, but they are not growing, right? They are stable, right? So there is this market that will give you the stability, but it's not going to give you growth to your next higher level. So this is where you are going to make those decisions in your business that will work best for you. Now, how do the team work together? Number one is you need to have a discussion, right, between leaders or between your team and whoever is in your organization, and say, have a discussion with each other and decide what it is the activity that you want to do. What the activity looks like, Daniela. Okay, it could be, sending a leader or a QT into a specific market. Maybe it is running a team promotion. Maybe it is requesting corporate support, and, maybe it is the world tour agenda, for example. You see, when corporate comes to those markets to support you and to support the growth of your country or your team or your specific niche, it's amazing. You count with corporate support, but doesn't make, or not make other events from happening. It shouldn't stop other events from happening. Just because corporate is not coming to your country doesn't mean you shouldn't have ongoing events every single month. So those events is what I'm talking about. Maybe this time you want to, have Renee. Maybe next time you want to have Sherry. Maybe next time you want to have Ronan. Like, it's all about having different leaders tapping into different markets. And guess what? We all bring value. One of my biggest lessons on this trip, I can tell you, is that it's not about what we say, what we have to say, or what we have to learn from each other. Sometimes it could be the same information. See, I had these conversations with, with our corporate office in Thailand, with our corporate team office in Philippines. And, we all have our own value. And that value is what people appreciate and what people see. But guess what? When you're in a room with all new guests and you have 50 new people and they are excited to come and see what Fountain of Life is all about, and all of a sudden, here it comes the same person that speaks to you every week and tells you, my business development manager from Manila came all the way here to introduce you to our other speaker. And all of a sudden, it doesn't become about you. It's never about you. Now it becomes about someone else. So if you do that, imagine it could be one time, it could be Renee. The next time it could be the top income leader in your area. The next time it could be, you don't actually need a specific guest. All I'm saying is create events and create excuses, right? For opening up the information to people that maybe couldn't make it in your last event, right? So if we create these events, we are promoting that. Now, let's look at the expenses, because Renee was saying, okay, you can use it for this, you can use it for that. But now let's look at it. So number one thing is your marketing allowances for business events and related expenses, right? It could be the world tour. It could be, that Rico is going to be coming into a specific, as a guest speaker, into a specific city. It could be that Kuno from Thailand is going to be traveling to Singapore. It could be, that you are going to be traveling to our innovation conference, right? We are having an amazing conference in a couple of weeks. So you can utilize your marketing allowance to be on that conference and make it happen. Get your flights, arrange your hotels, be here, come here, join us, right? Team support events. What are the team support events you're doing this month? Okay, and with this, I'm talking about at least 8 or more people. Why? Because you want to make this into a bigger event, right? Where you are asking your partners to join you and have access to all of this, right? Trade shows. Like, how many trade shows are you booking? How many opportunities you want to have to talk to people outside your industry, outside your network, to say, you know what, this is what I have to offer. This is the business model I've been talking to you about, right? Of course, between this, you can share a little bit of the travel costs, your venue, maybe if you're going to be providing lunch, you know, whatever is included in the venue for lunch or for dinner. I love team promotions. Today, I really want to talk about team promotions. I know, Renee, you have done this in the past too. We are running one promotion right now, and you might want to talk about this promotion, Renee, that we're doing with the Thailand team, because we want the expansion to happen. So we're going to talk about team promotions in a minute. Promotional material, you know, you want to be on an event where you're going to have 50 new partners or 50 new guests, and your goal is to introduce them to the product. You want to create a welcome kit for all of these partners, make them feel welcome, get them, for example, a facial mask, brochure, for example, the I Can Save Home Revolution brochure, a candy, your business card, put it in a nice bag. All of this material that you're buying for these partners, you are investing in that partner, in the new prospect that is coming to see what it is your business and how you do this business. Right? But if they just come in and buy, it doesn't mean anything. You're not making them anywhere feel any special. Why would they want to join you? Why do they want to be a part of your culture? Okay, you want to have, you know, your nice product banners. Where are those banners? Right? Do you want to have a professional display? Whether you have a special guest or you are your own special guest, right? If you are hosting your own events, become you the best host. You got to be your best host. So become that best version of you, whether it's through your material. We have all the material you need in order to make it happen. Okay, and then of course, social media advertising. You want to invest in your business and put ads on Facebook. Like, you have no idea how many people ask me about social media advertising in this trip in Asia. That means they just don't know that we have even given them the tools so that we can pay for it. But they're willing to invest? Absolutely. Go find the people that is looking for your products. How many times I tell you, there is always someone praying like an opportunity can come to my life. You just have to go find that person. But so many people are out there waiting for you to come in and say, you know what, this is what I'm doing. This is what I have to offer. Let me show you how it works. And all you got to do is show it more, show it more, show it more. The only difference is that a lot of people are just not doing it, right? So these are a little bit like an overview of what the expenses are and what are they going to be approved. Now, what it is the process to access it is like, all you got to do is submit your proposal for approval via email. And you're going to send me an email and Daljit in our office to say, you know, this is the event we want to have. This is the budget that we are expecting. And we're going to be selling tickets, or this is the event we're going to have. We are selling tickets cash, whatever it is that your setting is, you know, this is going to be the hotel, this is the venue, this is how much it's going to cost me. I am actually looking to buy some printing material. I'm going to get some brochures, some Safe Home Media, Safe Home Revolution, maybe some Fountain of Light brochures. I want to have a banner, like invest, right? Then all you got to do is keep corporate in the loop so that we know that there is this event happening, and then you're going to promote the activity. So for example, in the world tour agendas is where corporate aid is present. We know it is a big event happening. So the expenses that are incurred could definitely use or could definitely be paid with your marketing allowance, okay? All you got to do is keep the records of the activity. You keep your receipts, you keep your bills, you put the original receipts in an email, okay? And the list of achievers, for example, if you're doing a promotion, we have had promotions where, for example, you know, I decide that this month, whoever becomes an LD1 in my team or in my organization is going to earn, let's say, $100. That's my promotion. I choose that this is what I want to do, and I want to give $100, you know, for their marketing to my team. We have had in the past, for example, IFRA's team that they know they can buy promo material, right? So instead of me buying you something from the outside and cheering you for your business, you know, I say, for all the winners, the people that order over $500 this month, you are going to get from me one package of 100 booklets of the Fountain of Life, for example. So I am investing in my business. I am utilizing my marketing allowance. I am buying promotional material, but I am gifting it to you. By the way, you can utilize the shipping system in the office, in the back office. So I know, for instance, our team, what they do is they place the order. They are going to send from their back office. They are going to send it to, let's say, Renee in Canada, but I'm living in United Kingdom. So I place the order, put Renee's information in my back office, and I said, ship it directly to Renee. This is his promo order, and she's going to receive it for free. Can you imagine? So all I'm doing is I am utilizing my resources as a leader. I am utilizing my marketing allowance. I am paying for those brochures. I'm shipping everything. I'm sending it to my leader, Renee, that lives in Canada. So you can do the same thing for your team. So all you can actually buy, for example, in cities like right now we went to Philippines. If you are not into the habits of shipping everything and you are more like person to person contact, then I do is I order 500 brochures or 1,000, whichever packages I want. I order it into my house, I get my shipment, and then when I have my weekly meeting, I recognize my team and I said, because you sold over $500 this month, or 50 bottles of the Fountain of Life, as a form of recognition from the team, here is your package of brochures or your sterling, I don't know, the travel size sterling. Like, utilize your own products to recognize your team, which is something I love, Renee. I know, for example, when we did the Chinese New Year, for example, and we're doing the draws and people are getting, fairy pieces and everybody's loving it. It's not that they can't have it, but everybody loves to have, an extra toothpaste for free. And every time you're going to draw Fountain of Life, everybody goes like, what? I want my Fountain of Life for free, right? Like, who doesn't love free, right? So these are all tools and ideas I'm giving you so that you can utilize it with your marketing allowance. And of course,
I can share some more ideas with you, Danny, too, if you want. I'll give you a break to rest a little bit here. Actually, I just most recently, for example, our London trip was fantastic. And of course, what happened there was we had pretty much the Safe Home Revolution, the whole entire kit as giveaways. We also had, of course, a fairy purse and a fairy handbag that we gave away as well too. And also we had prizes, for a person with the most guests or a second person with the most guests. And what that did was it jam-packed the room. So I guess if you're really strategic with the use of your marketing allowance, right? Or your Opulence points for that matter. We all have Opulence points. You can use your Opulence points to redeem for some amazing fashion, which didn't cost anything for your marketing allowance, right? And use that Opulence points towards getting some beautiful fashion pieces. And guess what, right? I mean, on the flyer, when you put, for example, there'll be a lucky draw prize, for a fairy designer bag, it's going to jam pack the room. And that's exactly what happened in London. And so, of course, there's an upcoming trip that I'm planning right now with Sherry and Tammy, with Carolyn Chung, and of course there's like a lot of people involved in the Trinidad and Tobago market. But again, I'm so happy that Sherry and Tammy are also contributing their own sort of Safe Home Revolution set, as well as myself, because we have two markets there, right? So, but those are just some examples of what you can do to use your marketing allowance or your Opulence points to really have a successful event. Because what you want to have is an event that is jam-packed, every seat full, and standing room as well too, right? So this is a great way of incentivizing not just your partners, because the partners can win a prize for having the most guests. That's one way of doing it. So the partners are all working hard to inviting people, but also to encourage guests to show up, because again, when you have free handouts, something about freebies, right? People will show up at the door. So, and again, there's nothing, what better way of marketing than having someone, and by the way, like the thing is, when people come to the event, what we did was they had to be at the event before the tour started to collect their ticket. So if you didn't get your ticket before the tour started, you wouldn't get a ticket, right? But then all the people would sit and watch the whole entire presentation, and because then the actual prize giveaway was after the tour was finished. So that's how you guarantee that people show up on time, number one, because they're going to get this raffle draw prize ticket, and that they actually sit through and listen to the whole entire presentation, right? And again, if now they've heard the whole Stay Home Revolution tour and the Opulence tour, and they get a free toothpaste or a free spray or a free FOL or a free Fairy Sterling or shampoo or whatever it is, right? Now you have someone that is knowledgeable, and trust me, that goes a long way. You don't know what's going to happen with that lead in the future. So just wanted to share a few more things there, Danny, and yeah, thanks for letting me share. Thank you.
Awesome. I also want you to share, remember when we had a promotion, I don't know if it was for rank advancement or something like that, where you were gifting iPads. Remember?
Oh yeah, yeah, a long time ago, me, Winnie, Sarah, and a few others. Yeah, like basically, because back then what happened was, it's all calculated, right? The way I do my calculation. So I actually figured out, because back then, one LA package, just to keep in mind, was like $3,600. So if you joined recently, the new LA package is like, 1,300. So back then, it was almost three times that amount. And so you can imagine some of the volume, of course, and also the wholesale profits. So yeah, like you can even design an incentive where if you have enough LAs get started, you can actually figure out based upon that volume how much you're going to be making, and offer free iPads, free iPhones. And by the way, like when you do gift these items away, it does become a business expense. So now you can actually expense these things. But again, I think the key thing to always keep in mind here is that you're never at a loss. So I'll say that one more time, right? You're never at a loss, because whenever you use your marketing allowance or your opulence points or even your own cash, your own income to do incentives, it's going to make you more money afterwards. And I think that I've always understood that to a certain level. And so to me, I've done investments in different kinds of marketing stuff. And I love the ones where you do invest right back into your team, because it's instant. It's like, if you do this, then you get this. So the thing is, if no one does it, which won't be the case, then you don't lose anything. But if they do it, now you're making a ton of cash, right? So you're always ahead, and that's the key point of these incentives here. So hope that helps you, Danny. Thank you. And I know that, yeah, for Thailand, we're doing one as well, because Thailand people, we have an incentive where if they launch, I think like 6 LAs, five LAs, thank you. Then because a lot of people would love to travel out of Thailand. It's funny, we want to go into Thailand because Thailand's like a beautiful, country, palm trees, coconuts, all that, beaches and ocean front and resorts, right? But people in Thailand, they actually want to travel outwards. And apparently, people there love going to Singapore. So we put an incentive where if you actually launch 5 LAs, and because the flight from here to Singapore is over $1,000, but from Thailand to Singapore, the flight is a lot less. So we did an incentive where we cover, I think it's like $400 between me, Henry, and Amarjeet, to cover flights from there to go to Singapore. So again, just different ideas, but again, you're always doing things because it's like if this is done, then you get this. But the if part is making you a lot of commissions when that happens. So I hope that helps.
Actually, I love that incentive, for example, for the Team Thailand, because we gave them a bigger goal. So every time we travel to markets, we have a specific target. And for Thailand, it's been, bring 100 LAs. And in the first boot camp, if you saw, the photos and pictures from the team when I was there, it was already 100 partners there. So they all have to bring one person. All they got to do is bring one LA. If they do bring one LA, then we get the bigger target, which is 100. But we know some people are going to, the doers, the makers, and the shakers, and they are going to be bringing more than the one. So this is where, as a team, Rene had his strategy with Amarjeet, with Henry, and they say, you know what? If Team Thailand wants to bring it, okay. So this is what we're going to do. You want to travel? Perfect. Come, check out our new distribution center. It's going to be in Singapore. Come do some shopping, fly out for the weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever, and come and have fun. So between the three of them are, deciding that they're going to use their marketing allowance to pay for this promotion, and whoever earns that, is going to get to go for free. So I love creating my own promotions just because I know where my market is growing and where it's needed. But if I don't know where is that coming, as I said, send me an email or something. We can look at, where the growth in your business is coming from. How can you invest it in a good way so that you can earn more money? Of course, the more you invest into a specific team or a specific momentum, the more CV you're going to get from there as well. Now, there are some guidelines just, for how we use it and how it's supposed to be used. So you can claim it after you have either made a purchase, you have the event have happened, or the promotion is completed. Okay, you cannot say, okay, Daniela, I'm going to be running a promotion for Singapore people to travel, so I need $500 to pay for the ticket. Okay, and then of course I'm going to say no, right? Or Daniela, I want to have 10,000 brochures. It's going to be 10 packs of 100, or sorry, 100 packages of 100, because we're going to have a super huge event and we're going to give the brochures for free. I'm going to say no. Okay, so everything has to be claimed after. That's why it's called allowance. That's your allowance. It's in your budget. This is how much I can have, but you're not going to receive it until the event have actually happened, and you can have the results. When you have the results, then we give you the money. Okay, so what you got to do is submit all the documentation. We assess it at corporate. When it's approved, the funds are deposited, right? We deducted from the MA and it's deposited in your e-wallet, and then you can use it basically to pay for it. So if you are doing a specific event, for example, photos can be used as a supporting material, but it is not an official form of documentation. Okay, just because, oh, I had a meeting, no, that doesn't give you access to the money. Oh, I had a meeting, no, right? You are supposed to do meetings anyways, whether you have marketing allowance or not. Okay, but your receipts and your invoices are 100% required. Because if you're paying, let's say for a venue, you're paying for a hotel, they're giving you coffee and cookies and maybe some appetizers, and you have to have a budget and say, this event cost me this much, but I don't worry about the cost because my MA is going to be covering it after the event has happened, right? So, and of course, you need to know how much money you have in your MA so that it's available, and if you want to use it towards that specific event. Now, when it comes to products or promotions, if you are going to be running a promotion, you say, you know what, this is going to be my promotion for the month. This is what I would like to do. I would like to buy this much products for my team, and then I'm going to use it whoever wins it, right? So let's say you had 10 winners. Then you show me, Danny, here are our winners. And these people got, get to have, one Safe Home Revolution each, for example. So all you got to do is place the order, Safe Home Revolution, ship it to Renee, ship it to Sherry. Like my winners got one Safe Home Revolution promotion. Perfect. And then once you say, okay, these orders we utilize for the sake of this promotion, these are the winners, and then we can reimburse you from the marketing allowance. So these are things that are going to help your business, that are giving you growth to your business. We just need to know in advance that is happening, right? And if it's an event for venues and expenses for an event, then we need to know how we support you as well. Then we put the ticket in the back office so people can pay directly to us. So we're basically gathering the money for you. So you don't have to be going, door knocking, getting the money from the partners. Oh, can you pay me? Oh, can you pay me? No, now everybody, they want to come, they need a ticket, go in the back office, buy it, pay it, and then we talk about it, right? So this way, same way, we're going to put the money in your e-wallet for the money claim, for example, for the venue, if you're paying a hotel or something. And this way, the partner feels safe. They have their ticket, they pay for it, they can show up, bring guests, whatever it is the event is for. Okay, those are like a little bit of the MA guidelines for accessing the money. Now, what the marketing allowance is not for, because a lot of people say, oh, that's marketing. Well, it's not, okay? So number one, you cannot use it for your personal use. Oh, Danny, I'm going to buy a new suit, I'm going to buy, I want to have personal enhancement, like I need a haircut, or I want to go to the salon for a massage and I need a spa time. Actually, I do need a massage, but no, I cannot use my marketing allowance for that. My marketing allowance is to invest in my team, is for my team to grow, okay? It is not intended for personal, intimate business meetings. expenses like gas and travel and food. Okay, so it's not for me, oh, I'm going to Tim Hortons to the corner and here's my gas receipt for my coffee, and no, it's not for intimate one-on-ones, one-on-twos, one-on-threes, no. Okay, or obviously personal businesses, maybe you have other business that you're running, and outside Opulence you cannot use your marketing allowance for other personal businesses as well. I think this is pretty straightforward, but it's good to say it because we have had people asking it exactly for those things, and we just want to make sure that people know what are the yays and the nays. Okay, anything you want to add to this, Renee?
I know it's again. I'm glad that you do have this nay list, because I'm sure some people will try to, or not knowingly, ask to try to claim these kind of expenses. And yeah, it makes sense, right? Because the personal meetings, it's stuff that you should be doing already, right? With or without your marketing allowance. So, however, of course, for the bigger ticket items, like having hotel meetings and traveling to convention, or traveling to a market that's growing. I think one thing that maybe you can clarify as well, right, is someone's trying to grow a market, that still counts as a personal thing, because really the way I see it is that is once you sort of have established market, that there's a lot of people that's there that requires more support. That's when I can see the marketing allowance being used. But for example, I can't say I want to go to Hawaii and build my business and start from zero and then try to claim my flight, because there's nothing there right now. So I think the key thing is that there should be, of course, for travel at least, a business or a team that's already growing to count towards the marketing allowance. Is that correct, Danny?
Yeah, so let's say it depends, right? Like there are teams that are building in different cities. For example, let's say I have a team in London, Ontario, which is 2 hours from here, or maybe in Windsor, or so let's say Alberta, and I do have to take a flight. For instance, I know, for example, Ifra just went to Minnesota, right? That I always get confused with Massachusetts. I don't know why. So let's say Minnesota, right? Like I know my team is building in Minnesota. They haven't met me. I am going to go because it is my business, right? It is my team, and I am going to invest there. We're going to have events, da, da, da. We created a ticket. We created a poster. We are promoting the event. All of a sudden, Ifra shows up there, hotel, meals, dinners, take the team out. Maybe there was some sort of promotion. And I know maybe Ifra, if you would like to share about that, like this, my dear. And then all of a sudden, other people are watching, even from her team, that they want to do the same, maybe in other cities, right? Ohio, or like Connecticut, like other cities. It's not that it's a problem. We're not saying, oh no, you can't go. But if there is no market there, right? There is no actual business meetings happening. You're just going to go scout, see what's happening. I would say go the first time, start building a team. Once you start having certain growth, now a big event is going to happen. We utilize MA to that. Okay, you're planting the seed, which by the way is one of the posts I want to make this weekend on my social media, is I'm planting the seed. This is what I'm ripping out, right? Because it is all about planting. Sometimes we've talked about this many times on trainings, right? Recruiting is not like you come in, you become an LA, and then that's it. I'm done for that's it. I get my $300 wholesale profit and I'm done. No, this is exactly where it actually starts, right? It is about layers and layers and layers, and building and building and building the relationship. So at the end of the day, we are helping and supporting. Now, what happens, and I think this is more where we want to go, like how we decide whether it's a yes or a no for marketing pool. Let's say now Ifra traveled to Minnesota, right? And some other people in her team sees it. But a lot of people are benefiting from Minnesota, right? A lot of people in between Ifra, which is the ultimate upline, right? Which above somewhere, is going to be Renee, Reza, Sherry, like everybody, because we are all part of the same team. So when I say we, don't, I say we so that you feel you can understand me on the concept. So imagine I am in Asia, right? Renee is in United Kingdom. Ifra is in Minnesota, but I am getting volume from Minnesota. So my best practice is going to say, you know what, Ifra, I'm going to be in Asia. Renee is building in United Kingdom. I am getting volume from Minnesota. I'm going to also support you. So we're going to use part of my MA to help you cover the expenses in Minnesota, right? Because now Ifra is going to be doing her wow magic over there while I am doing my magic in Asia, while Renee is doing his magic in UK. Everybody's happy. But doesn't mean that because I'm in Asia, Asia is my market. And because Ifra is in Minnesota, Minnesota is her market. No, this time it happened to be that she wanted to invest in that specific portion, let's say, of the volume that is coming in her team, right? So now as a team, we are working together, and there are a lot of people in the middle that might be making money in CV out of Minnesota that not necessarily are leaders, that are not necessarily LD2s and LD3s, and not necessarily are building Minnesota, but they are earning marketing allowance because of Minnesota. So now this is where, as a team, you guys have to talk to each other to see, okay, what's your marketing allowance? What's your marketing allowance? Okay, why don't we work together and use the funds of this, because based on the tree, you are making all of this money because of Minnesota. And Minnesota is bringing us volume right now. So it is a country or a city or a place where we want to build, and we're going to put some resources there. How does that sound to you? Okay, great. So we're going to put a challenge. This is going to be the promotion. And then you put 50%, I put 50%, or if it's 3 people, 33, 33, 33, something like that, right? So I think that you need to now start to strategizing with your team. I know, for example, at the top of the line, you not only have Sherry, you have Obdulia, you have Ronan, you have all of you that are part of our leadership core group as well. But there are so many people in between that could, I am sure that they're going to be super happy to continue to build those markets, because they're going to be happy, they're going to have volume too, right? So this is where I think communication and building the relationship is key. Okay, knowing who is in that line connected, from this person to this person, that could help, bring with their marketing allowance, bring this market to life. I know, for instance, Ifra was really, really looking forward to come to Minnesota because it was a trip that she wanted to do, for the longest time. So now that the markets are opening, that's why we wanted to do this training for you, because we know now people want to travel. People want to be like everywhere. Like if I show you my map, the other day I opened it, like where Daniela has been in the past 3 weeks, it was crazy. I actually went to a country I wasn't even expecting and that I was going to actually ever be in my life, right? And it was phenomenal. I met so many amazing people that when they see our opportunity, they are like, wow, I didn't even know this existed. So we have so much powerful material, content, promotions, the comp plan, the team, the people, the dream. I was excited because then I get to come see a new person and they are telling me your names. I'm like, oh, so do you know this person? Yeah. Or when they send me a text message like, oh, I'm trying to reach Obdulia. Like, it makes me feel important. Like, oh, do you know Obdulia? Like, that is so cool. Or, I was talking to Rico about last time when Renee came to Thailand. Like, it was like, wow, oh, Renee, right? It's like we get to connect. So by talking to each other and knowing, okay, if you're in my downline, as Opulence, you can see who's in your downline. Who can we talk to that we can build this market together, right? So I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I think also one thing to add as well too is that oftentimes, with markets opening and I feel like Opulence right now is going through a phase where there's so many markets that are just opening at the same time, and of course, I think one of the challenges is to try to have constant representation in every market. Like typically speaking, every growing market. Ideally, I think every 3 months, you want to have some kind of a special event, right? Like a special guest coming in. That's why, we've been looking at, Danny's been traveling, Snaz has been traveling, me and myself and different people, because it does help, right, to carry that momentum and keep growing it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And so I think there's also be times where perhaps, let's say you can't travel for some reason, or you want to send a particular leader to a certain market. Again, so there's great uses for the marketing allowance, And so, sometimes again, if you can't travel yet, or if you don't even feel like, for example, that you're at the stage in point of your own business where you're knowledgeable enough to do a training. And this really, I think another topic that we can kind of bring in at some point in time is becoming a qualified trainer and a qualified presenter, right? Because typically speaking, you want to have someone who has been certified as like a QP and a QT. Well, it depends, right? If you're only doing a tour, then QP is perfectly fine, right? If you, for example, have someone that is doing a boot camp training in an area, then you definitely want to have a QT or qualified trainer. And if you don't know the benefits, folks, of becoming a qualified presenter and earning free Opulence points, or becoming a QT and earning free Opulence currency, I suggest you to, message your My5 and ask, well, can you send me the slide deck on the benefits of QP and QT? But this is where, again, in growing markets where you have a growing team, you definitely want to have someone that is a QT. So they don't have to become an LD3 or LD4 like myself or Ifra. As long as you're a QT, which just means that you know what to train upon and you know how to answer questions. You know the products off by heart, you know the comp plan off by heart, you know the back office off by heart. So, because you can imagine if you send not the wrong person, but if you send a person who is not yet fully knowledgeable in everything to a market, and then there's questions being asked and they can't answer those questions, you can imagine that it can have a negative effect on that market as well too, right? So I encourage everyone on the call today, guys, get your QT done, get your QP done first. I know that Sherry and Tammy, are blazing the trail here to get their QP and QT done as well too. Because the reality is that our company, we need as many QTs on deck as possible because there's too many markets growing, and and so we're encouraging people to step up, get your QP and QT done. There's incentives for that as well too, and so that you can start to travel not just for your own markets but even for other markets, right? So make sure you get that done, folks, because that's going to be a key process in leaders selecting to send you to a certain market, right? So thank you so much, Danny.
I love that. You see, Renee, that's something very important. Right now we have in the company actually 3 QTs that have actually passed through all the process, which is Bernicia, Ifra, and yourself. So congratulations. But we want to develop more QTs. We want you to go through the process and become a qualified trainer, someone that can answer this question like Renee was saying. So if you're part of our qualified presenters program and you're like halfway, just check what you need to become a qualified trainer. Send me your videos and we will review your qualification process so that you can become a qualified trainer. You can help us with these trainings on a Saturday basis and go through these platforms, because the core system is very easy, it's very simple, but it comes with experiences. People want to bring their experiences on board, and then when they have questions, you need to be able to answer those questions. So absolutely something that you really need to revisit in your business if you want to take your business to the next level. Okay, where I am right now, I am a qualified host, I'm a qualified presenter, I'm a qualified trainer. That's exactly part of the core. Like, how does it work? This is how it works. And we've been training it on the world tour. I think our Asia team is becoming an expert now on this because they heard it so many times. So definitely something to look into. Now, we do have a tutorial video, by the way, for a power cycle that our team has been working on, and I want to release it today. You have access to all of these videos directly from your back office. So are you ready to watch so we can open up for Q&As?
Oh, yes.
Awesome. So let's look at it.
Power cycle and marketing allowance. In our last video, we learned about how to earn binary commission. And now, let's take a deeper look into the power cycle. Let's say that you already built your left and right allay, all maintaining the 150 PV. When your team do the same and duplicate, you'll grow your organization to infinity. Your organization can grow globally even without you knowing. As your organization grows, your CV or commissionable volume will also continuously grow. and eventually, your cycle payout. Now, let's learn about earning from Power Cycle. Power Cycle is the top cycle you will get when you generated 5,400 CV in both team combined, which gives you up to $400 in cycle payout, plus $60 in bonus. The $60 Power Cycle bonus can be accumulated and used for personal marketing allowance. Opulence Global recognizes that to succeed and expand your business, you need to make the marketing efforts to sell. With that, Opulence Global gives you a personal marketing allowance that is designed to help you create a pool of funds that you can claim and reimburse your marketing expenses like flights, hotels, meeting rooms, promotional materials, and more. Also, marketing allowance funds can also be pooled together to support larger team marketing expenses. What type of expenses are approved from the personal marketing allowance? In-person business events. Hotel expenses for business events. Team promotions and promotional materials. Business stationery. Social media advertising. Team growth support, including supporting special guest speakers' travel arrangements. Conference ticket and travel expenses. So remember, start targeting 5,400 CV every cycle to accumulate Power Cycle that gives you $400 cycle payout plus $60 bonus that you can use to market your Opulence Global business. Stay tuned to know more as we will guide your way to opulent living.
Awesome.
Wow, fantastic video. Amazing.
I love this video. So let's open up for Q&A, Renee, because I know
Power Cycle.
you know, the more we see it, the more we want to know, the more we start asking. And I know your new team members are going to ask you this question. So let's open up. I'm going to close my slides.
Okay, I see some questions here already. So one question is, can marketing allowance be used for also for products that can be used for promotion, like regular products or VIP set? So I think the key thing is perhaps, do they have a particular, poster or marketing setup for that event? Because I'm thinking if you're just sort of buying products and then having a home tour, like, I'm not sure. Maybe you can answer that question, Danny.
Mm-hmm. So I just didn't understand for the VIP set. I just didn't understand what that means. But for example,
The VIP builder, I think. Yeah.
so let's say the VIP builder. Yes, definitely. So, but by the way, you know, when you buy products, this is I just want you to have this thought process. When you buy products from your line and you're gifting to people, you're giving it away. If it's in a draw, okay, you're just hoping that the product is going to go to the right lead. But if it doesn't go to the right lead, it's just product you're wasting, right? It's just giving away product, no result. I don't mind utilizing it through products, because I am the first number one believer that you need to be a product of the product. I would be more inclined into what Opulence Points and Fashion line is if you know your people or your team are actually actively buying Fountain of Life only, utilize other products to promote, right? So what you can do is, and actually something that we do is say you place this big order and then you claim it and say, you know, I want to use this order for this event, please reimburse. So then we reimburse you. But I am actually one of those saying, you know, use your own products to promote, to build your business. So I'm going to give you one example. When the last day that we went to the beach in Davao, you know, our LD3 was already getting a lot of feedback because we had about 50 guests on the event the previous night. So people were already asking her, you know, about this Fountain of Life and about a lot of people that came in, we were surprised because they didn't even know about the product. So when they came to the tour, they really didn't know anything. So a lot of people tried the product on the spot. And then the next day they were like, okay, I want the product. Can you just give me, you know, a discount? I want one bottle. Can you give me free shipping? since, you know, the office or the company is here. You know, they start to think of all of these promotions. They're great. But yeah, Dani, she's asking for free shipping. You know, we live here, whatever. I said, okay. And why are you going to say yes or no? And then she started thinking, right? Like, okay, free shipping, no, but I cannot give her free shipping. I said, okay, you tell her you have two options. If you buy 2 bottles, right, a personal supply, I can look into getting a free shipping or driving to your home or something, you know. Or if since I'm coming to your home, is there anybody else in your family that you think might want to have a personal supply, because you need to try it for 90 days. And then the 1 bottle sale became 6 bottle, right? So definitely I can give you free shipping. That's not a problem. Always look at a way of saying yes to your VIP shopper or to your prospect, right? So it's just in my personal opinion, I just don't think marketing allowance should be used in products. But if it's something that is helping you in your business and it's growing, yes. But marketing allowance was designed for your organization, for your team, not for your personal customers. You still got to do it. I still invest in my products. I still want to use my products as my way of recognition, because people love my product. They just want to have it. Or, you know, buy 2 bottles of Fountain of Life, get a toothpaste for free, because I want them to try the toothpaste, right? I know they don't have good tooth, so, you know, I think this is going to help you. But that comes from my pocket. I don't use marketing allowance for that. Marketing allowance is for my team. Okay, team, we're going to have this challenge this month. If you bring 5 LAs, you're going to get extra $100 from me, cash, go, right? So from either wholesale profits, from volume, you know, if you want to use your marketing allowance, fantastic, use your marketing allowance. I have no problem on that. But I want to see that the use of this money is giving you more money, is bringing you growth, is bringing your team to the next level. I hope that answers the question.
Well, that's actually perfect, because I think, again, it's the key thing is to be used for the team, right? Not really for personal uses. So I think that does answer the question. And again, you know, because everyone, the reality is that you're going to be making money, because again, the marketing allowance comes not from you selling products. The marketing allowance comes because you built a team. You have a team that's giving you a power cycle, and because the power cycle that's generated from the team is giving you the marketing allowance, right? So my point though is the MA that you have, it's derived from the team. It's not from your own personal efforts. So that being said, you want to look at, okay, well, where my team is this being generated from, and it should be going back towards that market, ideally speaking, right? So perfect. The other question, I think we already answered it from Ronan. It's about becoming a QT. So to really send someone to a market, we want to make sure that everyone, of course, is a QP and a QT. So we already had discussed that before. So thank you for that question. From Carolyn, when we share the cost for growing new markets, will each contributing member get a receipt? Yeah, so they can claim their portion of the expenses on their income tax return. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, because what happens here is, let's say, you know, you send someone to a market to go and there's flights and hotels, for example, right? Well, of course, what's going to happen here is usually when you use your portion of the marketing allowance, like on your tax filing, wherever you used in your marketing allowance, you would just write an expense claim in your taxes saying that this money here that was sent to whoever, because it's going to show an outgoing of that money, right? From your e-wallet, you can just write down on this e-wallet, this transaction was for supporting the marketing allowance for this person to go travel somewhere. That should usually be enough. But if it's not enough, of course, yeah, I mean, all of the receipts, for example, the flights and the hotels, that stuff, you know, whoever leader is traveling will have those receipts. They can definitely give you a copy of that receipt, so it's very transparent, and you can have that copy of the receipt for your own tax filing to match it with the marketing allowance that you use to contribute to that market as well. Is that correct, Penny?
Also, Renee, because if it's a team effort, and not all of them are in Canada, you know, for Canada, okay, because you need it for tax purposes. But if you're not in the same country, you know, and everybody, let's say, you know, Sherry's in the States, Obdulia is in the States, you are in Canada, Caroline is in Ottawa, and everybody's putting, let's say, $500, right? Or maybe for one trip, one put 300, for the next one, they put 100. So at the end of the day, everybody's putting a little bit portion, right? and it's a good it's like a good feeling to know, okay, the team is investing into this particular trip, and I'm putting this $500. It could have been for hotel, or it could have been a portion of the flight ticket. It could be a portion of the expense of the event. So it's not in particularly for a specific item.
I want to also add that I think the great thing about the marketing allowance is that it's especially combine the fact that that using your MA towards a market will generate you back more MA. But ideally, we want to have, I guess the goal in the end is to have so many QTs around the world of Opulence that you can call upon QTs to go and travel to do, support the different markets. And so really it's designed that it's going to build you more and more marketing allowance as time goes on. So another question was, can we get the video that was just shown to us? I guess, yeah, the video, Danny, is there a copy of that video we can get somewhere?
Yeah, it's in your back office under training tools. Let
Perfect.
me try to get the copy here from the slides. Wait, give me one moment.
Oh, you have the link to the YouTube as well? Perfect. So I'm kind of curious now, who's more motivated now to become a QP and QT than ever before? You see those raise of hands, right? Yeah, absolutely.
So the link is on the chat, so you guys can check it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that link, Danny.
Awesome.
I think we have some hands raised. Let me see here. Yeah, actually, also we have Ifra. Let me just, Amelia and Cecilia. Let me just unmute Ifra first. So our LD4, who I know just came back from her successful trip in Minnesota, can share a few words. Hi, Ifra.
Hello, good morning, Renee. Good morning, Daniela. And hello, Opulence Nation. Wow, I love this training, Renee and Danny. Thank you for doing it. What a timely, right? It's so perfect. As some of you know, I've been on the road for 24 days now, from one city to the next. And this is the first time that I am actually recognizing the power of our marketing allowance. I had no idea how powerful it is, how much it can really boost and uplift our organization, our teams, brothers and sisters around the world. So I love hearing about how it's supposed to be used, how we should all contribute. I love that because oftentimes, for me, I'm a person, like I remember I had this discussion with our SVP in Minnesota. She's like, Ifrah, you don't ask for help, it's just in my culture, we do it all. Like we're superheroes, right? We do it all. But now I'm recognizing it's not a bad idea, because at the end of the day, it's benefiting all of us, right? When we all put our efforts together, how beautiful would that be? So if any one of you have marketing allowance and you haven't used up, now is the time. Get on the road, make things happen. Even shadow, right? Renee, I know, spoke about being a QT and whatever, right? I even recommend, like, if you're already an LD2, let's say LD3, LD1, go ahead and shadow somebody to learn about how it's done, because that is how I did it, by the way. Those of you that don't know, in 2018 and 2019, I invested in my business on my own. In 2018, I shadowed none other than Reza, our top income earner, all the way in Kenya. I was telling somebody the other day that we were presenting to in Minnesota. I said, we stayed in Swiss Lanana. And she goes, what? Come again? That is where Barack Obama stayed. I said, yes, that is where our top income earner was staying. I wanted to be there. I wanted to learn every single day, like everything that's happening. So we would have breakfast together. I would have my notebook. I will write down everything, right? And in 2019, the opportunity came to go with our CEO and our senior vice president in the UK. Again, I invested in my business, took off work. I remember some of the weeks I didn't have enough vacation. I would take 1 week without pay, because I knew if I continue this, I'm going to get to a point where, guess what, everything's going to be paid for. And that is what happened with my 24 days. It did not come from my pocket. It's everything that I have accumulated, I have learned, and now I can't wait to get back on the road again. I don't know if Renee wants to share yet. I know we're working out the details, but I'll be heading the road again with our youngest millionaire. I'm so excited. And it started. So like I said, if you have marketing allowance, now is the time to use that. Either travel or at least support teams that is happening around the world, because it's only going to grow your organization. That is the only way we can get to the billion. It takes all of us. It doesn't take one or two people. It takes all of us to get there. So that's all I wanted to share. Take it back to you, Renee and Danny. If you have any more questions, I'm here.
Awesome. I love that, Ifra. I haven't had the time to speak to you.
Well
Obviously,
said.
I've been under the weather in my bed, for the full week, but I'm super excited for you. I know I've been, like everything that you're saying, I've been like in the backbone and checking in, and we're here and we're to support you. But you said something very important in the beginning that Sanas told you, is like you never ask for help. And we had the same conversation with the Kenya team. You see, when corporate comes to events, is because you guys tell us, okay, we're having an event. You see, now when Amarjit said, and she made a beautiful post saying, we ask for Danny every 3 months. Why? It's not because, Danny is the one making the difference. No, it's because it puts your team to have an excuse, to have an activity that is so important. And now everybody's working towards that activity. Right? So same thing for you, Ifra. When you come and say, Danny, like I can't do the training because they asked me to stay. And I'm going to be going city by city by city by city, doing presentations day and night. That's what every single one of you are supposed to be doing. So even if you have a little bit of MA, let's say you have only Power Cycle a couple of times and you have $120. Well, great. Say, you know what? Talk to your upline. How can I help? Because I'm getting volume anyways from what you are doing. So I want you, if you are a downline in this call, is to check your marketing allowance funds right now and see where can you utilize that money to support your team. Because this is not about you. This is not about, oh, I have all of this money there. This is about your team. This is about helping others achieve what they want so that you will have what you want. And you know what? Having your team having $5,400 CV, it's a great, like I would say that's kudos to you, because it is your help, it is your effort, it is helping your team to grow. But if you right now are not doing it on your own and you want to shadow someone like Ifra was, recommending, then talk to the upline, talk to that person that is going to be coming, or, create your own event and say, you know what, Ifra, we need your help here. Renee, we need your help here. Sherry, we need your help here. I want you to come and support me. I want to see all of you at the convention, like at the conference in a couple of weeks. But if I don't get to see you because you have to travel from outside, and I know many of our partners are coming and I'm like super excited, and we've been doing visa letters for all of you to invite you. And I'm excited. I'm thrilled. I was telling the people in Asia, you have to make a commitment to come. Right now, you have to make a commitment to come to the cruise. Cruise is your next big event, and you are not coming on your own. You're coming with your team, because the next big event is going to happen in the next 3 months. And then the next big event is going to happen in the next 3 months. So you work, in 90 days slots. 90-day blitz, 90-day blitz, 90-day blitz, 90-day. So what's happening in my business in the next 90 days? Focus on short-term goals so that you can, support, help, maximize the potential, and of course, utilizing the best way your marketing allowance too. Any more questions or comments there?
So we have a few more hands. Oops. Sorry.
I know some people are not getting the visa. I'm reading your comments here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. We have a lot of people who want to come to convention, but the Canadian government is a bit strict on giving out visas. So again, we do have the live stream available for that. And again, so please make sure you get your tickets. If you're within anywhere, driving distance 5 hours, flying 5 hours, please come to the event for sure. So I see Ronan's still waiting for his visa as well
Oh, I
too.
love Ronan.
Yes.
Okay.
So I do see Amelia Sammy with her hands raised. Let me just quickly see if she wanted to say something.
I
Hi,
think
Amelia.
she raised her hand even before the meeting starts. So
Okay. Yeah, hi there, Amelia Sammy. Did you want to add something? Or ask-
Hi, good morning, guys.
How
Good
are you?
morning.
I'm learning. I'm new to the Opulence family, and it's quite edifying. So my upline is Peter, and my downline is Teresa. My question is, I'm stationed in New York, and I did some feasibility studies whereby I introduced the fountain of life to persons and so on. So there is request for us to have uh, an, uh, an outdoor activity whereby we can educate the populace about the product, the advantage, disadvantage, etc. So I mentioned it to Peter, my upline, and to Shariza, the downline again. And like I listened to the whole market and assistance allowance, etc. Is there anybody who wants to come on board with us so that we can work together as a team? Because at the end of the day, we all want to make the business a success, and we can also work together for personal enhancement.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so again, thank you, Amelia. The one thing I would say again is that if I understood correctly, so with a market that's sort of new, we have a whole chapter that the CEO teaches on the forensic expansion. And so generally what we're looking for in a market to sort of send people to that market is to have, number one, definitely a few LAs in that market. And generally, if because the biggest thing about having people traveling to a new market and doing a big event is, do we have someone there locally who is well trained enough so that after the event is done, do we have someone who can take care of the team? So usually what we're looking for is I think the forensic expansion is looking for at least about 30 to 50 LAs in a market. So that's more established market, so that when we do an event, those 30 to 50 LAs can also invite their guests to have a room full of about 100 people or so, right? So that's sort of one criteria that we're looking for, and also to make sure that we do have someone who's locally there on the ground, like yourself, who has become at least knowledgeable enough to carry on the weekly presentation. So because once we go to a market, like for example, all of our established markets, they do weekly presentations, they do weekly trainings. The leader there is doing weekly trainings as well too. So we want to make sure that we have that already sort of in place, ready to go before we send someone in, because usually when someone goes in, you have a lot more people who get excited, they get signed up, they start, and now they're looking for a place to bring their guests for the next meeting. So if there isn't already an established weekly tour or presentation, then it kind of defeats the purpose of sending someone there. So that's some more guidelines on what we're looking for like an established market point of view. Does that help?
Yeah, it does help. So we'll work I guess we may have to do some networking and work together, and from there we'll take it.
Yeah, I
So we
mean,
will liaise with you guys. Daniela was very excellent in presenting there. She was very explicit, and I'm gonna make the necessary networking with my team, and we will take it from there. Thanks a
perfect. Yeah,
lot.
and again, I think the great thing to do is become a qualified presenter, because that means that, you might not know every answer to every question because you're just sort of brand new, and that's totally normal. The key thing though is to have a qualified presenter who can just do a weekly tour every week host a
Right.
tour. And we also have a guideline on how to run a proper tour. Do you have, registration desk? Do you have, ushers for the doors? Do you have a greeter? Do you have a host, a presenter? Yeah, so and it doesn't have to be at a hotel that costs a lot of money. A lot of teams do weekly tours, starting off in a restaurant that has a back VIP section, like a private room somewhere like that. But also having a private weekly tour happening, that's one of the guidelines, yeah, for sure. So thank you.
Is it mandatory that we follow the rules of Opulence, or are we being creative on our own marketing strategy?
Yeah, I mean, they're just guidelines, generally speaking,
Okay.
but definitely you want to have a weekly presentation somewhere. So I know that when I first started off in Taiwan, what I did was I went to a big coffee shop, and this coffee shop had a separate like glass window like private room, and if everyone bought a coffee, then we could have that room. So I started doing my weekly meetings, excuse me, in this VIP section in a coffee shop, and that was fine. So as long as you can have a quiet room and do a weekly presentation, yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you
all
for your
right.
question. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for being on the call. All right. So now we also have Cecilia. Let me just quickly allow, I think her hand was raised too. Hi, Cecilia. Did you want to ask a question as well? Or have a comment, Cecilia? Can we maybe, I think she's from the Philippines because the last name, I believe. But, all right, well, I guess if not, then again, thank you so much, Danny. I know that you were under the weather for the past few days, like myself, and you still managed to get on this call and do most of the training. So thank you so much, Danny, for being here today with us. And again, thank you, Sherry and Tammy, for being our host of the month.
Thank you so much, Renee. Thank you, Danny. I'm so excited to be on this call with everybody, and I learned so much from you today. And I love that video that you guys created. Danny, you did such an awesome job.
I
So
think
yeah,
I do see also Caroline raise her hand. If we have any other comments.
Oh, yeah, hi.
Hello,
good. Hi, Karen.
Hi,
Hi,
Sherry.
Carolyn.
Hi, Renee. Yeah, this is just more of a comment. So thank you very much for doing this this training that explains how this allowance works. And one of the things that I just wanted to tell you what I value about this whole conversation is that it really it pretty well explains how network marketing works, right? Like the whole point of this business, not the point, the model of the business is that, you know, you can't really have success unless we support each other, right? And I feel like in this conversation about the marketing allowance, it is helping us, especially those of us who have not necessarily been plugged into the business for, you know, in the past, to be able to make really good targeted marketing decisions, right? So me, you know, I would just be following whatever the leaders of the company have done in terms of their marketing strategy, but I would never have even thought about this this pooling of our marketing allowance unless, you know, like when Renee talked to me about it, it just is not something that I even knew about. But after he explained the strategy, like it really does make a lot of sense to me anyways, for like putting the marketing dollars where they're going to have the most impact. That's really what I got out of this conversation. And yeah, so thank you. Thanks for that. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
No, thank you, Carolyn, for that. Again, it was a great time talking with Carolyn because, you know, again, she, you know, I think a lot of people just haven't really thought about this only because for the last 2 years we've been COVID lockdown, so no one was able to travel
No
like
one
we
was
used to travel
traveling.
like crazy, right? And now that I guess I think this training, Danny, came at the perfect timing because now people are now traveling a lot more often, and you know, travel restrictions are being lifted. And yeah, Carolyn, thank you so much for for being such a team player. That's the biggest thing, is that you understood that really the marketing allowance, if used correctly, is going to generate way more commissions that belongs to you, and way more marketing allowance to be used again in generating more commissions that generate more marketing allowance that generate more commissions. It's like a cycle, right? So thank you so much, Carolyn.
Also, I think Renee, just to add to that, it's for a lot of partners like Caroline, you know, that are there, that have been in the business, like she said, and maybe who are not tapping into it all the times. That's the normal nature of business, right? We're not always at a peak. So that's why I said today, you're going to go into your back office, right? So that your snapshot doesn't come every month saying, oh, by the way, you didn't log into your back office for the entire month. You log in for 0 times, right? So you're going to log in, see how much marketing allowance you have, you know, check where your volume is coming from, okay? And then talk to your uplines and see, you know, what can we do with this to make it happen? What can we do with this to be excited? And like Renee said, the only reason why no one was talking about this is because no one was traveling. No one was really building the markets. Now that the events happen, you know, we started first phase of momentum, start momentum. We are sustaining momentum. Now, after the event happened, we have to advance momentum. And that only happens with more events. So excited for that. Thank you, team, also for being here. Renee, I know Sherry and Tammy, you guys rock, you're awesome. And it's just actually the beginning of the month, but I'm very excited for our innovation conference, lots of learning. One idea that you know, came up while I was in Asia, and I want to bring it up for all of you. If you're taking a look at this and you think that either your visa is not coming, is not showing up, and you're not going to be able to do or be on live or in person our conferences, this is going to be your perfect timing to create your team event. We are talking about creating events that can create and build that bond with your team. So all you're going to do is create your own mini conference in your home, in your hotel, or whatever it is, and then you're going to be putting in a big screen our conference. So you get your ticket for digital ticket, you pay $50, you get your ticket if you're going to be, let's say, in Kenya or somewhere, and then you're going to be broadcasting whatever it is that you're going to be seeing through your Zoom link. Okay, but now you're having maybe dinner, maybe breakfast, I don't know, depending on your time zone with your team. You're using this time for bonding, you're using this time for recognition, you're using this time to get to know new partners, new leaders. You can actually invite guests and say, you know what, we're going to be broadcasting live our product and innovation conference all the way from Canada, live from here, right here, right? And then all of a sudden you create a big buzz and a big event in your local team thanks to our product and innovation conference. So do not let this big event pass you. Okay, create something excited, something with the social aspect with your team to create that bond and continue to build relationships with your team.
Thank you so much, everyone. Get that. So thank you, Danny. Thank you, Tammy, Sherry. As always, we are one team, one dream, to the billion. So thank you so much, everyone, and we'll see you all at the convention. Make sure you buy your tickets. I do have a few more early bird tickets, so if you want to reach out to me, let me know. I did buy a bunch. But anyways, we'll see you all soon. Thank you.
Oh, that's
Awesome.
awesome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Renee. Thank you, Danny. So in the last, and maybe Tammy, you can show your slide, and then we can just make our announcements.
Okay.
Well, I already know the first announcement is our product innovation conference that we already dear Danny talked about it just now, and I'm actually flying back from California, and so for those of you who live in Toronto, I'm so jealous of you. You only have to pay $300 to get into that conference. I have to pay a lot more, you know, for the air ticket plus the hotel room and the car rental and all that. But it is totally 100% worth it because it's a must attend event. It's the event that you cannot miss. You know, Tammy and I, we joined the company about 2007, and that's the big event like this, we never ever miss. And for big events, if I have anything that, because I'm in California, there are things like when I have my baby, I couldn't travel. There are like COVID time, I couldn't travel. What I would do just exactly like Danny just you know, talked about, and then Renee talked about. I got my team actually come to my home to do the training, to listen to this together. We celebrate together, we take pictures together, we eat together, we have fun together. So absolutely, we will listen to through the virtual access and the Zoom call, like what are you doing right now, but you gathering your team to have this meeting together, to have the conference together. So but this time I'm going to flying back. I'm so excited, and this time you know, I already bought my ticket way back in when it's just started and first promoted, and because I couldn't wait to see everybody in person and to hang out with all of you. and to have fun with you. And of course, we besides the conference, we also have the gala. So you can actually buy the gala ticket for $130 or 129 Canadian. So you calculate your currency accordingly. And that is gala is some place that you can take your loved one with you. You can take your partner with you. You can take your boyfriend, girlfriend with you, or a grown-up kid with you. It's a fun place if your parents speak understand English, and bring them with you, because that would be so much fun to have the support from your family. They will see how amazing our company is, to associate with everybody, to talk to everybody, to shake hands with everybody, to learn amazing the amazing business we have. So for gala, and I know how much efforts our amazing senior vice president, Sinaz Woman, putting every time she's putting a gala together. It's upper skill. It's really awesome. The best gala you can ever attend. That's the event of the year. So 100%, you guys, if you can be in Toronto, go there. Please be there, and I cannot wait to go to hang out with you, to have fun, to join you, and for this conference. So, Tammy, I know you have a few words too. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Danila. Thank you, Renee, for the great training today. Actually, talking about the marketing allowance, I think we're not too late to have a marketing allowance for a flash promotion, because since we still have 13 days until the event, which is on September 23rd to 24th, maybe the team, you guys can set up a 1-week challenge, and then whoever gets X amount of sales, or sell some products, or sell something, or just maybe some LA or someone who get promoted to become a trainer, you guys can give away some marketing allowance, so that they can come here to Toronto to come and join us for the conference. 13 days, so a week, a flash promotion would be good.
Danny, you're muting yourself. I cannot hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me at all?
So contagious. Yes, I was listening. I was like,
nobody hear me?
I want to be in this promotion.
Yeah.
This way we can have some of our partners come to the conference. Definitely. Yes. Last minute, even if it's last minute, you still have, I would say, 2-3 weeks. So let's do it.
I'm sure Sherry and I will be willing to chip in with this promotion.
Awesome. Absolutely. And also we have Renee still have some a few early bird tickets, so I know who I can go to.
Yes,
early bird tickets. So okay, awesome. So let's do it. If you have a winner of this contest in the next couple of weeks, definitely we know we already have a ticket for you. So take advantage of it. That's awesome.
Yes. Okay.
So thank you so much, team. Oh, sorry, you have more announcements.
Yeah, one more, the virtual leadership cocktail. So tomorrow we're gonna have Alan to do our lifestyle director 2 from Canada to give us this nice talk. I think I really enjoy every Sunday morning. We have this nice chat with either a very seasoned leader like Manisha, like Nora, but we also have some newly raised leaders like Alan Oden, and will be hosted by our youngest millionaire Renee tomorrow. So the conversation should be very interesting. So I look forward to every Sunday to have this very it's very interesting. Like the chat is not only you're learning the stories. You're learning like how they grow to this area. So make sure that you join us on the leadership cocktail show tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please calculate your time zone accordingly. I believe that's and a couple more, of course. On a Monday we have our product crossfire by our Senior Vice President Sanaz Human and our Regulatory Affair David O. And that's on Monday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So calculate your time accordingly too. This is a place so that you can learn so much from our corporate team about our products and what's upcoming, what is latest coming up. So make sure you join us, and you can also have the question and answer session as well on that day. So that's Monday, and the Tuesday we have our forensic networker by our very own founder and CEO, Mr. Marie Mascalo, my personal mentor since 2007. I'm excited to be on this call every single Tuesday. And so this one is on September 13th. Please mark your calendar, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be there. And I wish to see every single one of you to join us on a live training from the forensic networker himself, Mr. Rami Mascalo. So thank you so much.
Thank
Danny,
you.
have a few more words.
Have
Thank
a
you
nice
so much.
weekend, everybody. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Take care.
Thank
Good
you.
evening, good morning, good afternoon, goodbye.
Bye, everyone. We just sold 5 more tickets. Wow.
Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Danny. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
To the building. Yes, Maria, to the building. Love it.